Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Klash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin.
Q101.
Here we go. First one of the week sets the tone. Take on Kenzie and trivia and win free stuff. This week it will be Jimmy Carr, hilarious comedian, a British comedian, at the Chicago Theater Thursday, October 9th. Tickets on sale now. Our great friends at Live Nation gave us a bunch, so we're giving them to you right now. Going to Graham. If Graham wins, he gets him. If he loses, Kenzie gets him, but then Kenzie gives him out to everybody else. So Graham, ahoy, tell us something about yourself.
Good morning, guys. Just got to work early. I'm ready to kind of hit the week hard, but I'm not excited about beating the traffic this morning. But I guess that's what we're going to do here in Chicago.
I like your opening part of that was like a very motivational speech. Like,
It really was.
I'm going to hit the ground running hard. Listen, rise and
I'm
grind.
staring at my office building, and it just kind of takes the wind out of your sails.
I'm gonna get after it.
Well, maybe not.
This is the morning I'm taking over the world. Oh, boy, it's Monday. I got to go to work. Ugh.
You
Wait,
got
wait.
this.
So here we are.
Wait, it's only 7:25? Holy crap.
Feelings mutual.
yeah.
Don't worry.
All right, here we go. First one to 5 wins. Listen carefully. If Kenzie gets something wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same with you. Call heads or tails, Graham. Graham.
Yeah.
Oh, heads or tails, buddy.
Oh, God, that's heads. Oh.
A big first office decision of the week.
It only gets easier from here, my friend.
And you were right. It is heads, so it's all going to be fine.
See?
It's all going to be great. Graham, question number 1. How many stripes does Adidas have?
3.
3 stripes. That's right. There you go. See how good things are
I
going?
always pull up into 3 stripes, guys.
I swear to God, I thought you were gonna say like a tiger or something, and I'm like, I didn't know they had a designated amount. I thought it was like per tiger.
I was also panicking.
I'm like, uh-oh.
Kenzie, nothing related to stripes. Which city is the largest in Australia?
Oh.
Yep.
Well, I think the one with the building with the tier kind of looks like the Adidas logo, actually,
Right.
that's Sydney.
Yep, that's Sydney. That's right.
Okay.
I couldn't name another one in Australia. Is there another city in Australia?
Well, that's what I was nervous about. I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something
Yeah.
big.
Well, Melbourne.
Oh, Melbourne. That's right.
And then there was like a Victoria, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's not
What, do
Des
you live
Moines.
there? Relax.
No, Des Moines, Australia, not a popular destination.
There is a Florida, Australia. I learned that yesterday as I was doing Australia trivia questions. 1-1 is back to Graham.
Graham, in which continent are the Himalayas located? What continent?
Asia.
Asia's right. See how you're doing so well here? You're up 2. And it's 2-1. Back to Kenzie. Kenzie, the Heat, the Panthers, and the Marlins all play their home games in what U.S. city?
Miami.
Miami is right. 2-2.
Oh, God. Different sports. Threw me off. Hold
Oh.
on.
Graham, in baseball, a dinger is a nickname for what?
A home run.
A home run is right. Ripping through these. Back to Kenzie. In the song Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas, what was everyone as fast as?
Lightning.
Lightning is right. Wow. Do you have that one in your head already?
I'm a genius.
You are a genius.
Obviously.
I've been waiting for that question for 2 years on this thing.
I love that song.
3-3.
And back to Graham.
Graham, what joint in your arm is where the humerus, radius, and ulna bones all meet?
It's going to be the elbow.
The elbow is right. Graham's got 4. Back to Kenzie. What is the largest internal organ in the human body? The largest internal organ.
The largest in the whole body.
The whole thing. It's a big body. Well, some of them are big, some are small.
And that's what makes them beautiful.
Isn't it like your skin an organ?
The skin is an organ, but the internal organ, not the external organ.
I didn't listen that closely.
I felt bad because you were so excited.
Well, because I'm like, oh, they're trying to get me. It's the skin.
Yeah. So the largest internal organ, and Graham, you can win with this one.
If it's Brian's, I'm saying liver. but
Hey! All right.
I think I'm stomach.
Well, you were right. It was liver.
Just stop. You were
Yeah,
right.
yeah, just- Yeah.
Can we go back? Can I undo?
No, we can't. You're good.
All right.
You won. It's fine. It's all going to be well. You are going to see Jimmy Carr at the Chicago Theater. Congratulations.
I love that guy. Thank you. I had a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks, man. Have a great day. It's 7:29 now. You killed 4 more minutes with us. Isn't it awesome?
Yeah, it's great, guys. Now I got to walk into the building.
Fun.
All right. If you want more of those tickets, we'll have them tomorrow. 7:10. We'll get you on the phones every day for Jimmy Carr tickets. Very funny comedian playing the Chicago Theater. Make sure you're here at 7:10 tomorrow morning for your chance. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
So a chance to get to the When We Were Young Festival happens right now, and it's a keyword called October, and you text it to 95819. Not our usual text number, 95819. Text the word October. That's your chance at a VIP trip to Vegas, baby. October 19th. Panic at the Disco, Blink-182, Weezer, Offspring, Avril Lavigne, All Time Low, The Used, so many more. It's your emo dreams coming true. You'll have flights for two-night stay at Resorts World, 2 VIP tickets, presented by 7-Eleven. And it's the When We Were Young Festival. You will be there. Again, if you've already done it this morning, don't do it again. Just enter once. And you have till 9 o'clock, so you got about 40 minutes. If you're in the middle of something that's a little hectic, calm down. Just text October to 95819 before 9 o'clock once. And there you go. Now, over the weekend, a lot of the protests going on in Chicago and other cities like Los Angeles, there was a news chopper pilot caught on a hot mic talking about his personal life. Now, this is Stu Mundell, and it was for Fox 11. He was reporting, I guess this guy is a legend out there as far as reporting and the helicopter stuff, because usually in L.A. they have so many more car chases than we have. And they, follow him all the way to the end for hours sometimes, and this guy is like a legend at that. So he's in the helicopter reporting on some of the traffic issues with the protests, and then he doesn't realize his mic is hot, and he's still talking about what's going on in his personal life. Somebody must have asked him on the other end of the radio, hey, I know things have been going on bad in your life, or what's going on right now?
Boy, do I hope someone asked him. Otherwise, he should be in a mental hospital. If that conversation happened unprompted, there's some bigger fish to fry there.
Unprompted and live on their YouTube stream where, a million people were watching it, trying to keep track of what's going on.
The protest is kind of an important moment.
And here's what went down when he was asked about his personal life.
The answer is yes. You know what? I don't care. I don't care about my... I am married. I am legally married. I am legally married. That's about the only way you can really say it. I am legally married.
Got
but
it.
I am not looking at now at all. I just had a bunch of debacles with my personal life. Yes, it's true. I know. It's hard to believe. Somebody that doesn't even know what he's talking about in a relationship. And, But, I got nothing right now. Got nothing. Not really looking. Trying to find myself and be happy. I'm being serious about that. I want to be beholden to no one at this moment. Do I get lonely? Of course. But I got cats. So I think all that information's on the internet. Look at all those red cars down there.
So he goes right back to the report. Has to go right back to it at the end. He thought he was off the air, and he was on the air doing all that. So now that we've heard it, we can process it a little bit better now of going back through the audio. And I don't know if the other person is a woman or a man that asked him about this, and because sometimes men will unload more on a woman because they think this woman's going to understand me. I'm deep and brooding. I need some help here. I'm reaching out for a lifeline from another woman. You know what I mean?
I couldn't imagine having a male therapist. I only talk to women. I only trust talking to. Oh my God, no! Brian and I have known each other for 6 years. Brian and I we've had like 2 real conversations. I can't talk to him about anything in my life. It makes me so uncomfortable.
Do you feel like you've told me more serious things than Brian?
I could, not more just because of length of time, but I could open up to you so much easier.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. I love talking to women. I hate talking to men. I'm so bad at it.
Brian, if you had to open up to Case or me, who would you pick?
And talk openly about what you're weighing in your head right now, because it seems like you're thinking about this answer
why
quite
wasn't
a
that
bit.
as easy for you as it was for
I mean, the answer is neither. Because I compartmentalize. It's not an offensive way to either of you, but I compartmentalize, and then when I die, they'll all explode and they'll all get released into the universe, all that stuff I've pushed down. Does that make sense?
God, you need therapy. It's unbelievable the things that you say.
Just keep pushing it down like chicken wings, and just keep shoving them in, and they'll stay there, hopefully.
Okay, I guess hypothetically, which of us would you rather talk to if you had something
you have
real
to.
going on in your life?
You mean like a gun to my head and I have to talk to somebody?
Yes. Yeah,
And
kids
honestly,
yes.
you may choose death. So let's do a gun to your wife's head.
Oh, boy.
Because now you have to talk to one of us.
That's not fair what you just did.
Because now, exactly, because you'd be like, oh, just kill me. You can't come on the radio and go, oh, just kill my wife. I don't want to talk. You can't say that.
God,
That's not going to look good.
You're evil for putting that in the conversation. Which is why I'd probably talk to you then, I guess, Kenzie, because it's the same reason. You just want that. A guy knows what a guy's going to say. And a guy's not going to talk a guy off the ledge necessarily.
We're going to push him off the ledge?
Well, in this situation where he's looking, where a woman can actually have empathy. I'm not sure Kenzie can, but I'm saying, can have empathy in a situation a little bit.
I have a lot of empathy. I have been very supportive of Case, and I think he can testify to that.
Would you testify in court to that?
I testify to that, Your Honor. Right hand up on the Bible. Kenzie's great. She's terrifying.
Yeah.
She's evil, but she is a good listener.
I do. Have I not texted you and checked in on you, Case,
this is true.
multiple times?
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's great. Kenzie will always have an angle that I never would have thought of, something that involves revenge and, a diabolical scheme. But, she listens.
Well, I will say that I texted Case, checking on him last week once, and the answer I got back was like, I saw this Pacers game, huh? So I think he didn't want to talk about, I was trying to be real for a minute. I couldn't. I tried to have this real text to him about like, hey, man.
I'll tell you what. I tried to open up to Brian one time, and it didn't go well.
What was that about?
I told him that I was super depressed after having the baby, and he didn't respond. He stared at the computer screen really hard.
I don't remember doing that.
And he was like, so I gotta put this audio down. He didn't even respond. I was like, hey, I'm like really struggling. I had to come back after 6 weeks. It's honestly been really hard on me. And he never responded to the day. It never said anything.
Now, to be fair, the song may have had like 14 seconds left, and I'm
didn't.
running everything here.
It was that one morning we were playing Freebird, actually. We had 9 minutes to work with.
He squinted harder at his, he leans in, like completely, and nothing was said. We just all sat there.
I thought I got back to you on that one.
No, I'll never do it again. I made the one mistake one time.
I really thought I circled back on that one.
Nope, you never responded to that email, did you?
Do you want to talk about it now?
No, let's talk about it now.
All right, let's listen to this helicopter guy one more time.
Imagine Stu, the helicopter pilot, opening up to Brian.
And that's what I imagine. I imagine there has to be a woman on the other end of this call on the radio. It's like, so Stu, how's it going? I know they have trouble at home.
The answer is yes. You know what? I don't care. I don't care about my. I am married. I am legally married. I am legally married.
So he keeps saying legally married because he probably wants to get with the person he's talking to. You know what I mean? That's what I'm guessing. I'm just legally married.
About the only way you can really say it. I am legally married, but I am not looking at now at all. I just had a bunch of debacles with my personal life. Yes, it's true. I know. It's hard to believe. Somebody that doesn't even know what he's talking about in a relationship.
Self-deprecating.
But, I got nothing right now. Got nothing. Not really looking. Trying to find myself and be happy. I'm being serious about that.
And see, women would love hearing that if he's trying to get with them. Like, I'm not looking for anything right now.
Not really.
Women would love that?
Yeah, because he really is looking for something. If
he's not officially divorced and he's not looking. He may be hitting on somebody. He's just doing a bad job. Is all I'm saying.
No, because he's looking vulnerable. He's looking, brooding, mysterious, like the lead singer. That whole thing.
He talked for 47 minutes. Not mysterious.
I want to be beholden to no one at this moment.
And then he got medieval. I want to be beholden to no one in the arc of this world.
To no one at this moment. I want to be beholden to no one at this moment.
What does beholden mean?
You have to Google the definition of beholden.
Beholden. Is it one of those times you use a big
I guess
word?
like belonging to no, answering to nobody, right?
Beholden, owing thanks or having a duty to someone in return for help of service. I don't like being beholden to anybody, in a quote. So I guess he's right. I don't want to be beholden, he said.
No, we got that. He does not want to be beholden.
I want to be beholden to no one at this moment.
He almost admitted he needed someone to hold him, and then he's like, whoa, how do I get out of this?
Let's see, I know this word beholden. I'll throw it in there. Probably take care of everything.
Moment.
Oh, boy, this poor guy.
You know, do I get lonely? Of course. But I got cats.
Preach.
So I think all that information's on the internet. Look at all those red cars down there.
So all of a sudden he's back to his report. He was doing a report, a helicopter report of traffic.
Report on top of it. Look at all those red cars.
He's like, I think this is all over the internet. I think you are all over the internet now, Stu.
Obviously, we're going to try to get Stu on the show. I've got his email address. I'm going to reach out to him in just a second. On the Fox LA 11 website, he has got a bio there. He's an aerial reporter for Fox 11. And the last paragraph of his bio says, Mundell has been an iconic voice in the Los Angeles market, reporting from the helicopter over the last 8 years for KCBS and KCAL before arriving at KTTV. Mundell is also known for his dramatic Stu-isms during breaking events such as boom and whoa.
Boom.
I got to hear these Stu-isms.
Well, should I play Sublime here and try to find some Stu-isms?
Absolutely.
Let's do that. We'll come back because I feel for this guy. We got to get him on the show. I want to talk to him about this. I want to see how he's doing.
Yeah.
I want to see if he got beholden to anybody since we've talked to him. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 coming up in music entertainment news in about 10 minutes. How Pearl Jam almost ended up on the Ocean Gate sub. Remember that sub that went down and everybody died on it, including the guy that created the sub? Pearl Jam almost got on that sub. We'll talk about that in a couple seconds. Now, we just played the audio of the day, which was the traffic reporter in Los Angeles on Fox 11 out there, basically unpouring his whole life to everybody by accident over the air live on a hot mic, saying he certainly has a legal marriage but has had some mishaps. He has cats. And the guy's a legend out there. I was trying to find some of these Stu-isms that Case said he's known for, but there really wasn't that. But boy, is this guy good at car chase stuff.
News, a pursuit just ended on the 10 freeway near the Hoover on-ramp. Stu Mundell, Sky 9 over the scene, and it looks like they've got their guy in custody, Stu.
Sandra Lena, that's the guy in that center right there. LAPD, they were in pursuit, but this was an unusual one at best. It's coming to an end out here on the 10 freeway. It ended in the eastbound lanes, but for some time they had the whole freeway shut down as that suspect got out of his vehicle and was running on the freeway trying to get into cars.
That guy's great. I was trying to see if he did the wife of the Weezer bassist that had the whole problem with the same kind of deal, a carjacking, got off the highway. It didn't seem like he maybe he was off that day.
Oh, man, what a bummer.
I know.
The day you're off, Weezer's bassist wife shoots somebody? Oh, my God.
Can you imagine? He's like, I just wanted to, just take a little mental health day. I'm going through all this stuff.
I think enough probably happens in that area, though. I mean, there's like there's celebrities everywhere.
Yeah, the police chase stuff in LA is just different than here. I guess, certainly more roadways, more spread out, and they can follow those guys for hours.
Yeah.
Well, still, we're thinking of you, and Kay's going to reach out to you, try to get you on the show and talk about it, and maybe Kenzie can help you with your relationship stuff.
I know. I hope you're beholden to no one right now. That's what I wish upon you.
Oh.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Yes, how Pearl Jam almost ended up on the doomed Ocean Gate submarine in music entertainment news. So imagine that someone calls you and say, I got this sub. I want you guys to get on there and perform. It'll be amazing. I'm this super high-tech guy. It's going to be great. We're going to have billionaires on here. It's going to be amazing. In this new Netflix Titan the Ocean Gate Disaster documentary, Stockton Rush, the guy that created it, wanted Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam to be in the submersible. It ended up exploding en route to the Titanic, killing him, Stockton Rush, and the other 4 other people that were super rich people that paid to be on the sub. Now, it doesn't say how close exactly they got to being on the sub Pearl Jam. The guy just wanted that to happen and contacted Pearl Jam. It wasn't like they were there at the door and looked in it and went, nah. You guys, you got like a Logitech gaming controller doing this thing? I don't think so. But they were contacted, and I just can't imagine, the things that Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam might want to do.
Nothing. I can speak from personal experience. They want to do nothing.
Well, they tour a lot. They play shows.
That's the only thing they want to do.
I don't know. Getting in a sub, I don't know. He didn't come close to getting him on board, is what I'm saying. They weren't on the dock and changed their mind. But thank God they didn't go, obviously, because the thing was a disaster. It was. We read more and more about it, how irresponsible it was, how they took people down there, these poor people that died on that sub and went down there. But Pearl Jam could have been on there, and that would have been another pretty monstrous loss.
They fired everyone that said, "Hey guys, this is a bad idea." They
Yep.
said, "We don't need you around." I also just
they don't need that kind of negative energy. I understand where they're coming from.
You know what, Kenzie, you're right. It's just like the White Sox. If they were more positive, they'd win more games.
You're gonna project. I mean, like you're manifesting like this whole like explosive submarine.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the employees who thought negatively's fault. They created this entire scenario.
This is where manifestation can go wrong.
Absolutely, you can manifest negative.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this.
Well, I think he was manifesting positive it was going to work. And science told the other guys said it's not going to work. And then he said, no, you guys are just idiots. You're not part of my dream.
You're being negative over here.
Well, you're being negative. I understand. I hate when people are negative towards me.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Don't get on Kenzie's sub. That sub's going to work in her eyes.
Well, what am I, an idiot? Of course it's going to work.
You think Kenzie doesn't know the first thing about submarines?
No. Obviously, my submarine would work.
She's testing one in the pond out by her house right now. But yeah, thank God they didn't get close to getting on there. He was trying to get a bunch of buzz because they were obviously having some money issues, getting attention, cutting through the noise, if you will. But boy, cut through the noise later. Yikes. Also in music entertainment news, Bonnaroo was canceled over the weekend, so it played one day, Thursday, and the lineup would have been that day. You would have seen Marcus King, who's amazing, Insane Clown Posse.
Who's amazing.
Amazing. Who's going chicken hunting? We're going chicken hunting.
Heard of it?
Wildorado, who we hung out with at Lollapalooza last year. They were great guys. So they got to perform, but then Friday came, and this incredible wave of rain came through Bonnaroo, which you might think, very big kind of hippie festival, maybe a little rain and mud might be fun like Woodstock 95. And that's exactly what the videos looked like in the beginning. Then it got bad. Mudslides, all that was cool for a minute. Let's color ourselves in mud and put it on TikTok. Sure, that's awesome. Then it became, we're stuck in the mud and we can't move, and this is definitely scary.
They needed a submarine. The water was so deep.
Yeah, one that would actually get out of there. But the whole thing was canceled. You had like Avril Lavigne and Queens of the Stone Age, Vampire Weekend, Hozier, Olivia Rodrigo. Pretty much the whole thing was done after that. And it didn't happen any of the 3 days because it was that bad of a rain. And people were literally trapped. My thought is, if you're already trapped in the mud, why not have some music playing? Could they not get the bands in any way, shape, or form? Because I'm stuck here in the mud. I paid for a ticket. Can't somebody play?
Can't somebody play?
I think the counter to that is, one, I do think artists were having a hard time getting to the festival grounds because the weather was so bad. Also, it was dangerous being there, and perhaps a Vampire Weekend or Queens of the Stone Age mosh pit wouldn't have been good for the festival grounds.
Yeah, but otherwise I'm just stuck in the mud.
I know that. I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you.
There can't be anything worse than being stuck in mud. What could be worse than that?
Well, what makes it worse when they cancel the show that you're stuck in mud for?
Right.
Like, if you're stuck in mud and you see people perform, you're like, oh, okay, I was just muddy.
Correct.
Now you're muddy and no show.
If you're stuck in the mud and you can't do anything else.
And you paid to travel there.
Yeah.
You're just down and out.
Like you can't get back to your even trailer or your tent or whatever you're staying in a Bonnaroo.
I guess the alternative is you're stuck in the mud, they play the show, and you die? Is that better than no show?
I'm confused. Why would you die if they played?
Because it was so dangerous there. There was water up to people's shins. The landslides.
What, are they scared these adults are going to drown in shin water? What do you say?
Shin-water.
Whitney Houston drowned in a bathtub. Anything's possible.
Wow.
I'm just saying, it doesn't make me happy. She died the day before my birthday.
If you can't handle water going a little past your ankles.
But it was everywhere. Kenzie, I don't think you're understanding the severity of how much water was there.
I don't think I am either. Because to me, it doesn't sound very dangerous. Were people rafting? I'm confused.
I'm siding with Kenzie, though. You're stuck and you have water, shin water.
Water, who cares?
No music or music. Which would you rather have?
I mean, you say forehead water, I'm like, we're in trouble. Shin water, you can walk around.
All right, hold on. Let me look at this festival real quick. So let's say the three of us went to Bonnaroo, right? And we're camping, which I'll never go camping. But let's give this hypothetical that we're camping.
All three of us together?
I know.
Hell.
And it gets rained out, and we're dealing with this weather.
And we're in shin water.
We're in shin water.
Okay.
And we're trying to communicate how to get off of the farmland that Bonnaroo takes place on. And Avril Lavigne's playing in the background. That's not making things better.
No, it would. I would go, there's Avril Lavigne. Let's go check her out.
No, we have to leave.
Then we go on.
The case would be like, we have to leave. And I'd be like, hey, you, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I would be doing.
That's what I'm afraid of.
And I'd be with Kenzie on that one. I go, well, we're here. We're wet already. I can't get dry anytime soon. Let's go see the band.
I'd be like, see you later, boy. But get in the truck.
Get in the truck. Get in the truck.
Now.
So they canceled it and no one saw anything. That's a shame. Hope everybody's okay down there.
Because of shin water. Okay.
They're still trapped in the shin water down there, I guess. So
Are they still? Why?
Because everything is just stuck in that mud.
Well, walk. What do you like? At this point, it's been days.
It doesn't work like that.
I want to see you walk in like shin water mud.
Oh, instead of like sitting it for 4 or 5 days.
Well, you could do both, but you can't just walk out of shin water and
Wouldn't it be hilarious if somebody picked a tube and they're just floating down?
But also when you step in the mud, your shoe you get stuck in it, like the suction happens.
I'm not saying it's ideal. I'm just saying I wouldn't be like, well, I have to wait till the whole thing evaporates. I'd probably head out.
Yeah.
But Kenzie, Bonnaroo takes place on a 700-acre farm, and it's like Alpine Valley. It's one road in, one road out.
Yeah.
So people are stuck.
No one's walking around?
Well, they're trying to get out of there.
They're swimming.
Yeah.
You can't swim in shin water.
Well,
if you were sitting in a tube in shin water, your ass would be dragging, like it would be touching. You know what I'm talking about?
Don't you talk about my ass like that, okay? You don't know what my ass would be doing.
Dragging a wagon. It would be touching the ground.
Come on now.
Well, they're down there, and there's no music, so it's really depressing. Now, where there was music over the weekend was the Download Music Festival, more of a harder music festival in England. But Green Day was there, Korn, Weezer, Jimmy Eat World, Sleep Token, Shinedown, our friends, all our
Are
friends.
they all stuck out there?
No, they had no rain. It was all good out there.
Wouldn't that be hilarious walking around like, hey, Avril?
Yeah, you're in this water too, right?
Everyone's stuck.
They're just stuck in this water. Now, they warned people at the Download Festival, they told people to take off your smartwatches because the mosh pits, people got in their mosh pits with Apple Watches, and it caused 700 false collision alarms that go off, 911 calls, or 999, that's how it is in England, they're 911.
Wait, what?
Because your watch, can connect when you're running into people, like you might be in danger and call 911 somehow for you, Your watch,
I didn't know it could do that.
Yeah, your watch will do that. Yeah.
It'll call 911 if there's a collision?
Yeah, like if you're in a car accident, your Apple Watch will call 911 for you. So people were moshing, running into each other very hard, like I was at Suicidal Tendencies and Riot Fest, trying to get the hell out of that pit because I realized I was not about that life, and I thought I was. So I did not have an Apple Watch then. I have one now, so I'm not gonna wear it. Well, actually, you know what?
Mosh pits.
I am gonna wear it to Riot Fest because I need help when I want to. I could have used help I really could have used help getting out of that Suicidal Tendencies pit.
I just saw my camera roll the screenshot I have of Brian texting me because how Riot Fest worked last year, Suicidal Tendencies played, and then there was a band called Drug Church that played right after, and Brian texted me going, that Drug Church pit was real as F. I had to get the F out of there fast.
Yeah. See, I used to be about that pit life, but I realized I'm not anymore. And the Suicidal pit, I was the epicenter of the pit. I didn't realize it. I had a nice spot to watch them.
The eye of the storm, if you will.
Oh my, the wall of death. They were coming toward me, both sides. And I said, wait a minute. And those people, the Suicidal Tendencies fans, I thought they were like a little older like me, a little slower maybe, have some Aleve going on. Yeah. No, they were certainly in better shape than I was.
Young, spry whippersnappers doing the wall of death.
Well, there were some old ones there too, and they were they were ready for it. I wasn't. I just wanted to.
Well, my problem is I've never been a music festival girly. I'm more of a concert. I like to give my assigned seat. Okay, so I get there when I want. That's my number. I prefer that.
Yeah.
And when I went to Lollapalooza for one of the first times, okay, got excited. I was like, I'm early. I'm going to stand in the front.
Sure.
And then I got physically assaulted. I had no idea that would happen. I just thought we'd all stand there and enjoy the show.
Yeah, didn't happen that way.
horrible.
They thought you were starting the pit.
No, I was just standing up there ready, smile, and then I was crawling. I'm like, oh, my.
Well, be careful all the festivals coming up. Obviously, with Lollapalooza, Picnic being done now, of course. No dangerous pits at Picnic over the weekend at Taste of Randolph. At least I didn't see any.
We had pits, but I would not call them dangerous.
Yeah.
Shout out to Scarlett DeMore, our local, for getting people really moving and grooving yesterday.
Yeah, look forward to Lollapalooza and Riot Fest all coming up. And there's your music entertainment news of Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.